Hi, my name's John Dyer and I'm in Peru. I'm on the hunt for the potato harvest and it all starts here in Lima. Now I've got to spend one night at the International Centre for the Potato in Lima and I had to get there. I wasn't sure I was going to make it in the Celtic traffic, but I did. This film is my story of finding the potato harvest.
The International Centre for the Potato. Stayed here one night and I'm off. This is my taxi today. We're leaving now. And I guess there's the potatoes. Could have stayed here, look. Okay, off to Lima.
As we headed against the one-way system out of CIP and back into the Lima traffic, I started to wonder what this trip would hold in store for me. The whole plan is to paint the harvest of the potato, which is the world's third staple food, and Peru is the centre of the biodiversity and history of the potato. On my journey I would be climbing from sea level to 14,000 feet, over 4,100 metres. And that's a serious height for somebody who's used to living on the beach. My first stop was to fly up to Cusco, which is at 3,000 metres plus, way up in the Andes. Now you might be wondering why the potato is so important to me. Well, it's not just me. Last year, in 2008, the United Nations made it the International Year of the Potato. Unfortunately, I was too busy to get over to Peru in 2008, so 2009 it had to be. And here we are at the airport and they're dishing out oxygen. It's that high. Look, there's my bag. That's exciting, it means my paints have arrived.
Here we are, arrived in Cusco.
There we are. My friend and Prince John. One, the taxi driver.
And it's much nicer than Lima. This is Cusco's nice. Nice old proper streets.
Yeah,
Cusco. It's pretty. Yeah, it's great. It's block work.
Well, at first sight, Cusco does seem to look very nice, and my taxi driver is certainly keen on all the Inca block work. And here I am at the hotel.
Okay, well, I've arrived in Cusco, and I'm in a little hotel, and this is the courtyard. It's really very calm and nice, so which is great. And I've just been out and I've managed to get some bread. They don't do food in the hotel on a Sunday, so I'm sort of picnicking. And they've given me a few things. I'll show you. This is the famous coca tea. Apparently this is the good one, so I'll have that to help with the altitude. I mean, I'm feeling a bit lightheaded. Some bread. I come up with some cheese, which is great. And over there, that little blue door, that's where I'm living for the next day while I acclimatise. Well, finished my tea, but I don't think I feel any better or any worse. There we go. Maybe I didn't do it right.
The leaves of the coca plant are used all over Latin America to alleviate the symptoms of tiredness and in this case altitude sickness. Now I was lucky I didn't suffer from this, but maybe that's because I drank a lot of coca tea. The coca leaves are also used by a famous brand, Coca-Cola, but not for their medicinal qualities, shall we say, but they use the coca leaves for flavour.
So this is the quinoa soup. It's really nice. Bits of cheese and quinoa. Very tasty.
After resting all day, which was the advice of CIP, I had to go and have a meal, and being vegetarian, I found one of the best things, and what I didn't know was the thing I was going to be eating virtually every night, quinoa soup.
Well, look at these rocks. This is very typical Inca, the way they're so closely cut together. It's incredible. You really can't even get a sheet of paper in between them. And these are in a little back alley. Somebody's going to go up here. I'm brave going past this door. Here we go. This is a little shop I've just discovered, and there's a guy in here, and he makes musical instruments, and more particularly, he makes these Peruvian flutes, which and he's gonna this one here. So this one's a really nice one. So could you play this again for me? So he's going to show you how to play it, and I can show this to my daughter. You see? So it will play. Okay. Gracias. Well, I decided my hat looks silly, so I've come here to this shop, which was nice, and I got myself another hat. And I think that looks great. That's better, isn't it? And amazingly enough, it just about fits my head. Sort of. They said it will stretch. Well, at least I think that's what they said. I think they said it would stretch. Anyway, they said it would do something.
Having overnighted in Cusco, the time now came to head up higher to 4,000 metres, up the Sacred Valley to the Potato Park, and we had to leave 2 hours earlier than planned. Now the 4x4 that we had organised turned out to be a rather old Toyota estate, but it worked, sort of, as we headed up into the hills.
Apparently we're going to a group of communities, spending an hour with each community to see the production of the potato, and eventually we'll end up where I'm overnighting. So nobody speaks Chechen, so there's no chance of understanding a word, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be sign language galore. So I've quickly been and bought a load of water to take with me, and we'll see how we get on a bit later.
Okay, we're just going off the road a little bit. We're way up in the Andes now, very beautiful. This lovely terracing. And amazing people everywhere, sat around weaving, collecting grass. I haven't got any on film, they go past too quickly, but we'll get some later. That's my driver. Do you know, I think we might be a little bit lost. But it's a pretty place to be lost in. Our 4x4 not struggling a little bit, but we're getting somewhere. A little bit rough. Okay, so we've arrived. This is the farmer. This is all the biodiversity, all their potatoes.
Well, the Toyota estate struggled up into the hills, and we arrived at this small community where the farmers took great pride in showing me the biodiversity of their potato harvest. And each of the potatoes is labelled and stored in its own little bag.
Yeah, they're very unusual. Yeah, lots. Yeah, some different ones. Fantastic. This barn's great too. Look at it. Look at the ceiling and everything. So I have to say, it's really quite cold up here. Really quite cold. And look here. Look. This is great. Look down here. These potatoes. Look, there's hundreds of them. And some of them are really quite tiny. Here's a little tiny one. And there's purple ones. Hundreds of things. Amazing.
Outside the barn, I came across a guy who was carefully sorting the potatoes and taking careful line drawings of them as part of the research. Now, the weather up here I can only describe as a chilly day on Dartmoor, and you can see from the landscape that it really does look like the sort of Dartmoor landscape, and I was really concerned whether or not I would be able to paint here.
So these guys, they're going to show me some of the potatoes. Look, they've got this lovely little rug, and they're...
My concerns were soon put to rest though, because I was whisked further up into the hills.
Okay, that's our taxi. It's going because there's blockage in the road. Now, we've been told we need to walk the rest of the way, which is interesting. I've got my friend here, my amigo, and my bags. So, we're going to give it a go. Yes, we're feeling strong.
After walking for 1 kilometre straight up into the village of Amaro, we arrived.
So here we are. So we've arrived from this little tiny place, and it's very nice. It's very nice. Very beautiful people with lovely children, and apparently that was the house I was in for 2 minutes, and there's a new house. So, oh, I've got to duck my head. I'm a bit taller than these guys. Well, we seem to have ended up here, right at the top of the village, and do you know? I'm not so sure anybody really knows what's going on, least of all me. And there's not much here, mud brick houses. some happy people, a few dogs, donkeys. So we've seen lots of pigs and cows, and me. So I don't really know where I'm staying yet, and I'm not sure they understand why I'm here. And nobody speaks English. Unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish, and there's nobody here to translate, so it could be interesting. I've been put to good use already. Look at that. I have a scythe, and they're making me work for my supper. This is my amigo, who's helping me from CIP, and his little girl, Roxana, his wife, Sonia, and his little dog. And we're harvesting broad beans, I think. These things we're harvesting. So yeah, I don't think supper comes cheap here. You got to work for it.
Later that evening, I was moved to another family.
Okay, it's interesting. I've just been moved to a new family in the early night. It's 8 o'clock, pitch black, and these are lovely children. They want to see themselves on the video, which is understandable. You see yourselves? And I've been given some sort of tea to drink, and yeah, and it's really nice. And this is my new host, Adrien, and his beautiful wife. So, and they've got a fire, and what you can hear on the floor here are chickens and guinea pigs, I think. There were guinea pigs. Take my word for it. There are guinea pigs running around all over the floor. They've just hidden themselves for the video. Okay, the guinea pigs are down here. Look, on the floor. In fact, the entire house is like living in a massive guinea pig cage, because these guinea pigs are free range. They're all over the kitchen floor. I'm still drinking my chamomile tea, and we're preparing beans and potatoes. This little girl's doing the beans.
I tucked up for the night, fully dressed and under all my blankets, because it's absolutely freezing in the Andes and there's no heating. But the following morning I emerged to the most beautiful sunny day.
Little piggies there that live there. They're cute. Now, we're going up to the potatoes. I've just been told we've got to walk up to the top of that mountain, and it's a couple of hours. So we'll see you at the top if that's true. Okay, we've been walking for an hour. As far as I can see, vertically upwards into the Andes. But we're here, which is great. And here we are. We've come across a small-scale potato harvest, which these ladies are doing. My guide's very patiently waiting with my blank canvas ready to start. So I'm going to paint here while these guys do the harvest, and we'll see what we come up with. Here we have some pigs being herded through the hills. Oh, there you go. Wow. Oh dear, they've got into the potato field. That's funny. this is how the painting's coming on. It's difficult painting in a new situation because it's all a new language, so I'm trying to find the things that make this particularly Andean and Peruvian and put it all together. And I don't think I'm going to get another opportunity to paint Harvest by the looks of things, but I will get other Peruvian things to paint. So it's a really important piece, this, for me. There's this glorious light in the valley, almost Italian actually, down there, with all these almost, the trees aren't pencil pines obviously, but they've got that impression. So I'm trying to get that captured in the painting too, which I'm just working on across here. And the whole time, I have to admit, I'm pretty out of breath. It's pretty high up here. They've got some dried wood here, and they've made the most amazing little fire. Look. It's made of chunks of clods of earth. I think they're going to cook the potatoes on it. Meanwhile, they're still harvesting. We've had a great day up on the mountain. It took ages to get up there, quite a stiff walk. But here's my little bedroom. You can see the painting. I don't think we're going to get to see the harvest again. It took us ages to find one, and it just looks like all the fields are already cleared. So what I'm going to do, and you'll see in the painting later, I'm going to go and paint the Peruvian kitchen. So when these potatoes are all harvested, then I'm going to paint what happens to them, and you'll see that there are guinea pigs and chickens and well, all sorts running around. So TV, there's the fire. So the whole of Peruvian life going on. There we are. And this is all in the same room. So we're cooking and eating, and they just run around the floor. And I guess every so often they eat one. Well, I'm all packed after another chilly night, and I think I've negotiated. The brother of the guy I'm staying with is going to take me to another town, then I get a taxi down to Cusco. So, and then from Cusco I can recoup, as it were, and then get ready for the next part of the trip. Okay, that doorway there, that's the kitchen, where they've got all the guinea pigs and chickens running around. And there's some breakfast on the table here. It's the fire. There we are.
Pan con queso.
Pan con queso?
Sí, esto es torreja de maíz.
Okay.
De maíz.
Maíz. Oh, sí.
Well, I headed back from Amaro to Cusco, where I overnighted, and then I flew up to Titicaca, where I was met by a fantastic guide, Jose, who took me to Puno on the shores of Lake Titicaca, and from there the next part of the adventure would start. On the shoreline of the lake there are lots of wild guinea pigs living, and I could see them from my hotel room, which was great fun. And the following morning I was going to be treated to a private boat to take me out to Taquile. But in the meantime I discovered the most amazing story of a boat they have up here on the lake that runs on llama dung. The boat was built in London and transported over 6 years in over 2,000 pieces up into the Andes.
It's a very beautiful boat. I hasten to say this is not the one I'm travelling on tomorrow. Okay, so that was an interesting tour, and what I have found out on that tour is that there are mosquitoes absolutely everywhere on this lake. I suppose I should have realised that.
The following day I was collected by my captain Victor and guide Jose, and we set off for the 3-hour journey to the Il Taquile in Lake Titicaca.
Morning, hello. And we're just leaving the hotel. Look, and we have this whole boat just for us. CIP have done a great job, absolutely great. And we're heading out to the Il Taquile, so it's going to be fun.
Right here now we are leaving toward the Reed Islands, so here we will spend for around 1 hour, and after we continue to Taquile, which is our destination right here.
Yes.
And after we'll spend overnight here, and tomorrow we'll come back again to Puno City, and again to Juliaca, which is right here.
Well, good morning. Here I am on Lake Titicaca on my private launch. I had no idea I was getting a boat that would take nearly 50 people all to myself. And look at it, it's glorious. I just swing around and you can see Puno disappearing in the background. Beautiful Peruvian flag. And we're starting to come across these reed beds as we head out into the lake. And our destination, our first destination, will be the Reed Islands. We're coming up, amazingly enough, to a toll booth.
Voy a pagar.
We've got to pay to go past here. Over here, there's a little tiny hospital for the islanders. There we are. Okay. There's the people on the watchtower. Buenos dias. Well, these islands have been fashioned out of the reeds. So you get a little clump of reeds grown and they kind of added to it and planted more reeds and created their own natural islands. And you can see there, that's one of the reed boats that they also make. So these reeds do a lot. They make the houses, they make the islands that the houses are on, and they make the boats, the means of transport. That little boat there, those kids are off to the school. It's the school boat. And look at this, a little welcome party for us. Curry Saraki! Oh, gorgeous. It's like walking on a mattress. It really is. It's really idyllic here.
On a pretty big one.
These are karachi, some of the native fish in the lake, which have been put here for me to see. I guess these are baby ones though, yeah?
No, these are quite a full size, because normally we find maximum this size.
Oh really?
Yeah, this is no baby, this is the real one, you know.
That's a real, so they're really little fish, so they need to eat a lot of these fish to survive.
Yeah.
Okay, so this lady here, she's hatched out. She's been hatching out these little baby birds. What sort of birds are they? Coots. Oh, these are coots. And do they use those for food?
No, they eat them though. It's like the chicken of the lake.
Okay, so that's and that's fish soup they have here. And then this little family group are sat around their house here.
Baby, you know, they're already
Just incredible colours. Look at this thing. Now this is really interesting. Look, they've got solar panels put in here so they can get a bit of electricity. So they can now get TV and radio. And I guess a little bit of electric light, but they're careful with it. So that's a government thing that they've put in. So we think in about 100 years' time this community probably won't be here. It's slowly getting filtered down. For the moment it's very healthy.
Steady.
Okay, so this is inside the house and they store this electricity in car batteries. Yeah, down here, so this is, they've got a TV. It's actually very low roof height. My guy's just showing me. This is a very typical house. It's just got some clothes and a bed.
As you will see.
No se prendería.
La luz.
No, más bien.
Ella es the light.
Okay. Oh yes, we have an electric light. She's very pleased with this. Very pleased. This is obviously all very, very new. Yeah, so there's 2 beds in here and it's a space which is about, I don't know, about 12 foot by 9 foot, I would say. 12 foot by 9 foot. These guys are preparing coots, presumably for their lunch. So, there we go. Poor little birds, but that's the way it is. They've got to eat something around here. And there's one just down here. There's one they prepared earlier.
Well, we left the Reed Islands and headed straight out into the lake through the reed beds to the Île Taquile at an altitude of 3,848 metres.
We've arrived on the island and it's covered in butterflies, look. And this is the house we're going to. Used to be the prison. These women are preparing food for this afternoon. Hope it's good. This guy's in charge. This is our room in here. hat, red hat shows that he's married.
Yes, he's married. Team 22.
Gosh. So that's my guide, talking to the guy who's in charge. And this is my room. Let's see what you can see. So we have beds, it's mud, it's a mud hut again, with some reeds around the edge. And there's 2 beds and a tin roof and a window. What could one want apart from all that? No heating, so it'll be chilly later. Okay, so lunchtime, and we're having quinoa soup.
Close 4,000 meters.
Yes, at 4,000 meters. Can't be bad. Look at that. This is kind of a Latin American Tresco.
After the inevitable but delicious bowl of quinoa soup, we headed up into the village to take in the festival.
I've just been given a handful of coca leaves from these guys, which I've stashed in my pocket, but I'm supposed to eat some, but it's for good luck. But I'm going to reverse that and keep them for good luck. Making offerings. So I've just been explaining to you, these guys are in fact remembering the time when they had to go to the lawyers and when they took legal rights of their fields, of the land of this island. It's a very complicated history. There's obviously meant a lot to them because they reenact this as part of this festival. So these guys are the lawyers, and then after they got ownership of their land again, then they had to farm it. Then we have this combined with the farming. And then we have kind of more of a sacred thing going on over here with the burning of the coca leaves. And they hand out coca leaves as a blessing, I guess, as a good luck gesture. As I said, I've got mine in my pocket. I thought that was better luck for me. Now, in this particular community, it's only the men that are allowed to knit and crochet. And here's an old guy sat amongst the Peruvian flags, and he's busy crocheting away a new hat. I guess it's a hat. And all the hats have different colours that mean different things. It might mean you're single boy, single girl, you're married, all sorts of things. You might be an elder, you might have a particular status within the village. Okay, so they've reenacted how they managed to secure their land, and now they're shown how they have to work. So they're going up and down the square with crushing the clods of earth as the plough goes through. And again, doing it in teams of 2. So they're celebrating their life here. It's a tough life, but it's worth celebrating. It's how it brings these people their living and their life. Okay, so here are the potatoes, and they've got the really big ones on the top. So that will give them better luck for the harvest for next year. If they put big potatoes on the top, it will will the gods to create a big harvest for the following year. So in these bags, that's what we've got. We've got the potato harvest, and it's all been celebrated. But potatoes, take quite a small role, but a very significant role. You kind of imagine them spread all over the square, but they're obviously not going to waste their crop. Okay, I've decided it's way too complicated to paint on site, and I also think it's going to cause, funnily enough, a distraction. I think there'll be loads of kids crowding around with some food because they're celebrating their harvest. So we're going to go for recce and find some of the potato fields and the terraces with the idea that this is going to be a studio. So
So I'll just do a panorama here to remind me exactly what's going on. And of course a lot of this festival for the men is about having a good cold beer, like anywhere in the world. Okay, we're going to go up and find the potato terrace, which should be up these back streets somewhere. Okay, so we climbed up nearly to the top of the island. I'll take an altitude reading in a moment. That's a view to the very southern tip of the island. Where we continue our potato safari. We made our way into this field. We're at the top of the island. And the reason being is we've discovered these guys, these Andean tubers, which are being dried in the sun, and basically that puts the price of these things up to 3 times the amount they would be fresh if they're sold back in the markets in Puno. And this is all set in this very glorious setting of this island. But because the festival's on, there are nobody working today. So tracking down potatoes is proving a little harder than one would think. This is like I say, a potato safari. And we found these dried Andean tubers here on the ground, but what I really want is a bit of action, some people as well. I think I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow, but I'm going to get up to the highest point of the island and have a look at the big potato terraces and see if that will make some sort of painting. Okay, so I'll see you at the top when we're taking an altitude reading. Well, if you've ever wondered what quinoa looks like before it's served up in soup, that's what it looks like. Incredible plant. Beautiful.
Yes, but this is very good medicine.
Medicinal plant's a nettle plant. Gorgeous. Okay, we are approaching the top of the island here. I'm just taking a reading of altitude, 4,108. So let's see what it gets to as we go on up. It really is getting a bit thin on the old oxygen, for me anyway. My slightly tubby guide seems alright. Anyway, he's used to it, and he had a Coca-Cola. There we go, 4109. So this place is called Mulucina. And this is the highest point of the island and one of the most sacred points anywhere. And we're going to see how high it is and how far we've walked. There goes my still blank canvas, I'm afraid. Not been an easy painting day, but it doesn't matter because we've seen loads of good stuff. Okay, let's take an altitude reading.
Yesterday was exactly the one.
Wow, my good friend here is very pleased because my iPhone reads 4,125 meters altitude, which is precisely what you said it would be, my friend. Well done.
Thanks a lot, you know.
He knows a lot of stuff, and this proves he knows it right. So that's high, really high. Well, it's a bit cold, and I'm in my little room, and as you can hear, there's some crazy music outside. Some very drunken people around. And I'm going to keep it out of the way. I've been advised to keep my door shut. So I will. And I don't know, try and get some sleep, I guess. The following morning, I was up bright and early, unlike most of the farmers who'd had too much beer, and I was back on my potato safari, looking for a family who were harvesting, and were going to be harvesting for enough time for me to complete a painting. Well, it's 8:30 in the morning, and we're still on the hunt for the potato harvest. We did see a couple of ladies harvesting further down the island.
But because everybody got so blind drunk yesterday in the festival, I just think everybody's still in bed. Whereas normally they'd be up harvesting the fields. So we'll see. We'll see if we'll be lucky. My guide Jose's gone off to knock on a few doors and see who's got a potato harvest planned for today. And as normal, I'm a bit out of breath because we've just climbed up several hundred meters sort of vertically to the top of the island, but I'm doing okay. Each farmer that we found, we spoke to find out if they were going to harvest. And this particular farmer wanted $130 US for us to watch him, which is obviously not a right thing to do. But nevertheless, we were polite and gave him a handful of cocoa. So we're just paying the farmer for his help with some coca leaves. This guy's building a dry stone wall. Okay, we found a farmer, this family, and they're willing to let me paint here. We've given them a whole bag of coca leaves to sign the deal. So I'm going to start. So the harvest is going on, and in a ploy to slow it down, we've provided the farmers with beer as well as coca leaves, and it seems to have slowed it down really quite nicely. Look, they're just drinking beer, chatting to my guide Jose. That'll give me a chance to get some paint on this canvas. So, early days, very early days, and that's what we're trying to paint.
nice family group here. I like this, and I'll get some sheep in here, and then all these beautiful flowers in here. This is my plan. Oh yes, look, she's got tassels on her. She moves, you can see she's got these tassels.
They're giving praise to the Mother Earth for such a good harvest this year. And this procession's going to come right past us, I think.
Nacho. Chao. Hello, Jaime.
Just grasses.
He said it will be very good to know your work because now the line was straight to the east.
Really straight.
Yes.
Just grasses. That's nice. It's a blessing, Mother Earth, for my painting. This lovely farmer here. A blessing in beer. Can't be bad.
Yes.
Cerveza. See.
Okay. So he's wishing him the best for this special occasion.
Oops.
So the beer for you.
Me? Ah,
Yes.
which is grasses. Well, a lot of froth on here. Well, I need that. It's hot here. Yeah. That's you, yeah. That's you. With your lovely hat and your lovely sash on there. It's beautiful. And this is your oven. Yeah. See.
Muy bonito. Muy bonito.
Ah,
Sí.
gracias.
Mi casa.
See. Ah. Your little sheep.
Mi ovejita.
Titicaca.
Lago.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Muchas gracias. Ciao. Thank you. Okay, so we did it. We tracked down that potato harvest, and thanks to my good friends and guides. So.
Well, the battery went flat on the video at that point, so all I can say is here are the paintings, and I hope you enjoy them.